Grzegorz Schetyna was the leader of the Civic Platform at a time when Donald Tusk was sleeping through the salons of Brussels. After it emerged that just before GRU Colonel Pavel Rubtsov was extradited to Russia, the Bodnar prosecutor's office handed him a complete file from the investigation into his espionage case. Schetyna commented, "There is a need for a white paper on this case. Rubtsov's activities over the years, when he was functioning as a Russian intelligence agent, his contacts with journalists, with politicians, with state institutions, but also how he was able to reach these prosecution files at the end. For, as Rzeczpospolita reported in the first 2 weeks of July, Rubtsov was able to familiarize himself with the files from the investigation into his case, the open part in the prosecutor's office and the secret part in the secret chancellery of the Internal Security Agency." Schetyna's party colleagues are reluctant to comment on the case. Rubtsov could see the secret files in the secret chancellery of the Internal Security Agency and the open ones in the prosecutor's office. What do you think about this? I agree with the prosecutor because I have no reason not to believe him that there was no information that would endanger state security. And the white paper proposed by Grzegorz Schetyna in the Rubtsov case? Excuse me, this is a question for my club colleague, thank you. Because, after the scandalous facts about the disclosure of the secret files to the Russian spy, Dariusz Korneluk, claiming to be the national prosecutor, bent over backwards to downplay the case and convince everyone that there was nothing important in the secret files that Rubtsov had spent a fortnight reading. There are no operational techniques, methods used. From this material, the accused found out what the Polish services know, just how he passed information to the Russian Federation. That's all there is to it. So he found out what he was doing to the detriment of both Ukraine and Poland. Korneluk's evasive strategy seems to be repeated today by members of the Tusk coalition. If these files did not threaten state security, why were they in the secret chancellery? The national prosecutor said it was for formal reasons. And what do you think about this idea of Grzegorz Schetyna for a white paper of this Rubtsov case, Rubtsov's contacts with politicians, journalists? I am not familiar with the idea, so it is difficult for me to comment on it. It is hard to believe that the materials collected in the secret office of the Internal Security Agency from the investigation against the Russian agent are meaningless documents. Undoubtedly, these are very sensitive materials due to the nature of Polish and any counterintelligence. It is obvious that these materials, which Rubtsov learned about, are knowledge which will be of great interest to the Russian special services. First of all, to the GRU, which can learn about the methods of the Internal Security Agency. The prosecution explains that it did not know that Rubtsov was to be named, and that he would be sent to Russia. To put him in the Internal Security Agency for 2 weeks and show him classified files. Spies have great memories. I can't imagine there could have truly been nothing in such classified files that could threaten state security. There are more questions than answers regarding the release of all files to him. It was known that he was going to participate in the exchange, which is organized by the US services. Therefore, I am afraid that the gentlemen from the Internal Security Agency were aware that they were showing these files not to anyone else, but to a functionary or agent of the Russian secret services. Everything is reminiscent of what happened during the first Tusk government, when the so-called reset of relations with Putin's Russia was implemented. Since 2008, there has been cooperation between the Military Counterintelligence Service and the Federal Security Service of Russia. Donald Tusk agreed to this. Could it be that this cooperation between the Russian services and the services of Poland under Mr. Donald Tusk are still continuing? Because that is what it looks like. The president's words have caused holy indignation in the ranks of the Tusk coalition. A recall, in 2013, with Donald Tusk's approval, the Military Counterintelligence Service signed an agreement created in Moscow with the Military Counterintelligence of Russia's Federal Security Service. Under this agreement, Poland was to, among other things, alert the Russian service to the activities of third countries. Radosław Jankiewicz, Republika.